career, she has worked across 16 different departments of the state and is currently posted as a budget officer in the Department of Finance, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Academically, she has consistently excelled, graduating at the top of her class at both the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. She holds an PhD in Population Student Studies from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, JNU, where she distinguished herself as a top performer. She's also a topper during her professional training as a civil servant. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. Um, would it be fine if I share a presentation of what I'm about to speak?
Yes, yes, of course.
That would be so kind. Thank you. So, is my screen visible to all?
I think ma'am, you have shared the Google Chrome,
Oh,
not the presentation.
okay. I'm so sorry. I'll again try that again. Just a minute, please. Should I go with the entire screen? I believe now. Now is it visible?
Yes, yes, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, good morning and good afternoon to all the distinguished guests and the fellow speakers from across the globe. It is an absolute honor and privilege for me to be sharing my thoughts here on a topic that touches us all, that is education. So, I'll just begin with a quote from Nelson Mandela that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So, when talking about sustainability in education, I would first like to just put in some points that we as policymakers in the government, we do try to blend in our policies which are going with the global goals, with the UN SDG goals. So, when we're talking about sustainability in education, we are particularly stressing on the SDG goal 4, which is quality education. That should be more inclusive and equitable education. Then SDG 9, that is industry innovation and infrastructure, because we are talking about giving more digital infrastructure to schools and other institutions which are related to education. And then SDG 10, that would be reducing inequalities, that the government is actually trying to bridge the inequalities with respect to urban rural divide or across the economic inequalities also. And finally, the government is also planning that there should be a partnership for goals so that the SDG goal 17 is met, and there is more of PPP models coming up in this field of education and making it more sustainable. So today's policies, what we as a government perceive that they should shape tomorrow's learners, and for that matter, the education must be more accessible, it should be more affordable, and it should be more future ready, that students should be more skilled and innovative, and the policies should balance all of these along with the quality of education and what is being fed to the students or the learners. It is of the utmost importance. So, where we see that digital learning is connecting all the learners across the world, so it is bringing global perspectives, innovations, and track driven models of learning to the fingertips of the learners. As been already said by my previous speaker, that there have been more blended learning models, development of more free learning platforms and applications. We are also seeing that there is gamification of education, where young students are learning through a lot of gaming models, and there is micro learning. Then government is also stressing there should be more of green digital practices so that we are reducing our waste and we are more energy efficient, and all this is coming with the well-being focus. There's more digital detox and all. So where we are talking how the government is looking about sustainability in education, we are talking about, like, creating a policy, then making like putting it into practice, and then having an impact assessment, and then again affecting the policy and what all the results are there. So it is a kind of a cycle that goes, and it is a continuous process where we are talking about achieving sustainability in education. So as policymakers, we are definitely um, like, well versed with the things that this today's digital generation is learning very differently. As I already said, that there is unequal access to internet and e-services, and then there is a huge digital divide between the urban and the rural and the rich and the poor. There's too much. Youngsters today, they are having too much reliance on technology, especially AI. Now they are not willing to use their neurons and all their brain and putting in the essays are coming, like, from AI. There's too much of screen dependency. Students, youngsters are consuming too much of unwanted information. This is kind of causing a digital or a tech fatigue. It's well known that it is also causing shorter attention spans. And then definitely we as policymakers see that the providers of education, the teachers, they are still a step behind than the learners, youngsters today. So there is a lot of teacher readiness gaps, and which our policy should be taking care of. So it seems like if sustainability means that meeting today's needs without compromising the future, then definitely then sustainable education will mean that we should empower today's students without exhausting their any kind of mental, social, or economic ecosystems. So this is how we perceive in government that how we should formulate our policies for a sustainable education. It should be more equitable, it should be accessible, that we have to develop affordable digital infrastructures, have inclusive policies. We're kind of wanting that we provide our departments through budgetary provisions, provide them finances to develop this infrastructure. So we keep a particular portion of our budget for capital infrastructure development. And then there are a lot of trainings for teachers, or they are wanting them to be the deliverers of knowledge, and they should be guiding the youngsters how to see what is to be consumed. And then there is a lot of curriculum revision and adaptation. We are kind of trying to embed digital literacy, putting more stress upon critical thinking. And then as I previously said also, that we are working upon how the government policy includes industry also, and there is more of industry innovation through PPP modes. So we've already seen that there have been digital learning models, micro learning, and gamifications. There are more energy efficient platforms. They are using more of AI, and then we are going for we are aiming that the students they focus on their well-being, and they are building an emotional resilience also. So they are more into this. If I focus upon how UP is taking policy initiatives in this digital sustainability in education. So UP has come up, Uttar Pradesh has come up with these schemes on your screen. There is this Digi Shakti scheme where we are providing free tablets and smartphones for the students. So we create budgetary allocations, and the government bears the expenditure on this, and for students it becomes free. So we have smart room initiatives, we have allocations for primary schools and medium schools and all, so they can develop their smart room classes where they can have a lot of out of, like, the target is of 2,700 classrooms, of which the latest information is that more than 1,700 of such classrooms, smart classrooms, are already functional. Then we have the Prime Minister Pradhan Mantri Shri Schools, where we are focusing more on digital labs, smart classrooms, and holistic learning. In Uttar Pradesh, we have particularly a very long learning scheme. This is Samagra Shiksha and Operation Kayakalp. Here we are stressing more upon the infrastructure development and development of digital libraries. The entire schools from the preliminary levels, from the very basic level, the schools are being renovated, and over the years we are taking district wise and block level schools are also being taken into this, where we are trying to make the schools better, and so that we can impart more kind of a more tech savvy education. So like this, the vision and the inspiration of the government is like what we in government think, that it is not just about how we adopt the technology in education, it is more about how we make it sustainable. So it's not just about gadgets or policies. So we are trying through our policies that we prepare a generation which is more digitally skilled, which is more socially responsible, and also globally conscious also. So we are trying that, besides providing the tools for learning, the government is should also be able to instill values that make learning last beyond the classrooms and make them a better person. So the digital generation should not just consume; they should also be willing to, provide or contribute to the future for all of us also. So thank you from my side, and this is how I think the government would be uh, having a look into this. And thank you so much for having me here. I hope it was helpful.
Thank you, Pooja ma'am, for sharing your valuable time and giving a valuable information about the UP government
Thank
and
you.
what the government is doing in terms of education and digital information, so that the education can become gets into the next level for the students. And specifically, if we are talking about academician background, then these types of upcoming initiatives by the government really help to make the education to the next level. Thank you for your information.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you for your valuable insights. So next, I would like to introduce